there's a lot of ways that we can invest into digital assets. Obviously, invest into spot tokens through a wallet. We have some exchange traded products. We have futures and derivatives that we can invest in today. So, Matt, with respect to like exchange traded products, how do you see those working in portfolio construction?
The asset allocation decision, investment decision is still the exact same thing that Kelly just alluded to. It's the core investment case for Bitcoin. They're just wrappers around Bitcoin, wrappers around ETH, and they make it very efficient for traditional investors that may have challenges going to Coinbase or going to some digital asset exchange they don't have a relationship to purchase. And so I think it's very much just an access story. And it's a story of efficiency. Even people like myself who come from a very crypto native world have a good deal of Bitcoin on separate like self-custodial wallets, on exchanges. If you think about though, even that process, it's a very expensive proposition to go buy Bitcoin spot on Coinbase or something like that. And so now you just have a wrap basket of Bitcoin with the institutional standard around it, with best in class outsourced custody, trades at a basis point wide in terms of spreads. It's the same exact Bitcoin investment considerations, but just an easy, efficient vehicle that abstracts the user away from all the operational complexities of blockchains, private keys, etc.
I would just also add, I mean, I think with the 33 Act protections that investors now have in the ETP format, you also have things like the order protection rule, right? Best execution when you go to buy it, like where you don't have that at Coinbase, right? If you're going to buy individual Bitcoins and have a self-custodial wallet, you don't have protections that you do have in the ETP. So again, to Matt's point, it clearly is much more efficient, and you also get protections that you don't get in just a native wallet.
Just to comment on that, you consider it more about comfort than access, honestly, for all those reasons. I have a Coinbase account. I've had one for a while. You can sign up for a Coinbase account in minutes. It's very easy. So it's clearly accessible to anybody that has a normal brokerage account as well. But they might not feel comfortable with it for a number of reasons. They might not know when to buy and sell. They might not trust Coinbase as a company just because they're not familiar with it, and they trust BlackRock or they trust Invesco because those are old names that they've already built trust and rapport with over years as an investor. But then you've got a bunch of cons with these marketplaces. They're open normal market hours. They're not open 24/7. So all these investors have to choose between a lot of these different nuances based on where their comfort are.
No, I just wanted to add though, the one pushback to that, and I fully agree with that from like a retail perspective. It's a convenience thing, but access is still very true for wealth. Like financial advisors, RIAs, wirehouses, private banks, like it's trillions of dollars of capital that just can't do this a different way.
We've seen some announcements from some of the bigger banks that they're going to allow their FAAs to invest their clients' money into digital assets in some way, shape, or form. So we'll see where that goes. I know there's probably some people from Coinbase here. Nothing against them. I love them. I have a Coinbase account. I use it sometimes, but the fees can be a little high, right? And the executions are pretty widespread sometimes. So there is that. But it is easy to use. Whereas if you have a MetaMask wallet and you're trying to trade on a DEX, it takes a little while to get comfort with that. And not everybody's even going to attempt to do it. I understand. The other interesting thing is that if you have an FA account, get my Merrill Lynch account, they give you little perks as you go up through the wealth stream, with however many assets you have on their platform. Well, if I have $1 million in digital assets and they're in my digital wallet, it's my self-custody wallet somewhere, Merrill Lynch doesn't see that, right? So it's not on their platform. They don't get money for that. But if I bought an exchange traded product, it would be in there and I would get that. So, and then I can leverage it. It becomes part of my leverage base in many cases too.